People say, it doesn't make sense. He's a billionaire from New York, no less. And everything he sits on is gold. How could he possibly connect with the common man? And yet he keeps winning more of them. Trump got trounced by black voters in 2016, so he brought in some muscle from the West Coast, someone he knows black men love, Kim Kardashian. Should Kamala Harris run for California governor in 2026 after polls show her leading? I'm going to give that a big no. Yeah.
She's had her chance several times.
She should run far, far away.
Yeah, I think Kamala Harris would make a great president of a university.
Back with some fundamental stuff. I say rather articulately.
So let's get right to the point. People often wonder, how on earth does Donald Trump, a billionaire from New York who probably hasn't touched a $150 Costco hot dog in decades, manage to connect with everyday Americans? On paper, it doesn't add up. The man surrounds himself with gold everything. He seems like the last person you'd expect to speak to the so-called common man. And yet, time and time again, he wins them over. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris, who was once hyped up as a future of the Democratic Party, can't even win over her own base. And just recently, Bill Maher, yes, Bill Maher, tore into her with the kind of blunt honesty that Democrats usually only unleash on Republicans. Watching Maher go after Kamala felt like a roast that was long overdue. Painful, but necessary. Now here's where it gets interesting. Back in 2016, Trump got crushed with black voters. It wasn't close. But instead of pouting, blaming others, or hiding behind excuses, he took a bold step. He reached out for help in an unexpected way, bringing in none other than Kim Kardashian. Why? Because Trump understands something Kamala never has. Politics isn't just about policies. It's about connection. It's about showing up in communities, sometimes through surprising messengers, and making people feel like they're being heard. Fast forward, and people are now wondering whether Kamala should run for California governor in 2026 since polls show her ahead. Bill Maher's answer? A flat no. Not a maybe, not a let's see, but clear run far, far away. And honestly, he's right. She's been given chance after chance, and every single time, she fumbles. Maher even joked she'd be better off as a university president, where confusing speeches and endless word salads might actually pass for leadership. And he's not wrong. This is where the Trump comparison really stings. Trump runs his office like that kid in 8th grade promising more snow days if he's elected class president. Totally unrealistic, sure. But here's the twist. Elections are decided on the margins. It's the little things that show voters you understand their frustrations. Trump gets this. He hammers away on issues like weak shower pressure, dim light bulbs, and low-flow toilets. Things other politicians wouldn't touch because they sound silly. And yet, for millions of Americans, those things matter.
Runs for office like that kid in 8th grade who ran for school president on a pledge of more snow days. Okay, I was that kid. Now, could I actually make it snow more? No, but elections are won on the margins by a coalition of little things that hit people personally. Trump gets this. He feels your pain in the...
Now look at Kamala. She campaigned on saving democracy, arguably the most important issue of all. But here's the problem. She couldn't sell it. She couldn't tie it to the everyday experiences of ordinary people. That's the fundamental difference. Trump sells politics like it's primetime TV. Kamala sells it like a dull Monday morning lecture at 8 a.m. Which one do you think sticks in people's minds? And here's the genius of Trump. He doesn't just win over supporters. He drags his critics into the spotlight with him, turning them into part of his narrative. Bill Maher himself admitted that Trump's offbeat style has been more effective than anything Kamala has ever offered. Think about that. Trump invites his critics to the table. He flips the script so that suddenly, even his enemies are part of the show. Kamala? She couldn't pull that off even if her career depended on it, which, frankly, it does.
Kamala ran on democracy, which is the most important issue. But without the political skill to sell it, it added up to nothing. Meanwhile, Trump was running on, I'll make the poop go down. He never shut up about bad shower pressure, shitty light bulbs, and low-flow toilets. Not exactly ask not what your country can do for you, but for some little niche group, it was all that mattered. He's right. It shouldn't take 2 flushes to make my shit go away. That's my guy, YMCA.
Now let's talk celebrities. Kamala leaned heavily on Hollywood, parading out famous names with scripted endorsements, hoping it would matter. Spoiler, it didn't. It came across as elitist, fake, and out of touch. Trump, on the other hand, used celebrities differently. He didn't just trot them out for applause. He made them part of his brand. Whether it was Lil Wayne, Kanye West, or even Snoop Dogg, sometimes throwing insults one week and tipping their hat the next. Trump turned cultural figures into amplifiers of his message. That's how he broke out the political bubble and reached everyday voters directly.
Say, it doesn't make sense. He's a billionaire, from New York no less, and everything he sits on is gold. How could he possibly connect with the common man? And yet he keeps winning more of them. Trump got trounced by black voters in 2016, so he brought in some muscle from the West Coast, someone he knows black men love, Kim Kardashian.
And then came the masterstroke, the pardons, Lil Wayne, Kodak Black, the CEO of Jay-Z's company, the founder of Death Row Records, even a former Detroit mayor. Trump wasn't just doing favors. He was making a symbolic move that he knew would land in the black community. And it worked. His support among black voters doubled in 2020 compared to 2016. Did he win a majority? No. But he peeled off just enough in cities like Philadelphia, Detroit, and Milwaukee to make a real impact. That's the kind of political street smarts Kamala could only dream about.
Together they passed the First Step Act, which scaled back restrictions on felons, a connection he built on in 2024 by becoming one. And then he pardoned Lil Wayne, and pardoned Kodak Black, and the CEO of Jay-Z's company, and the founder of Death Row Records, and the former mayor of Detroit. So it's not surprising that Kanye, and Wayne, and Chris Brown, and Amber Rose, and Snoop, and DaBaby all talked him up. That last one out of professional courtesy.
And now Trump is talking about marijuana legalization. Yes, you heard that right. The very same issue Bill Maher has championed for years. If Trump actually delivers on this, he'll not only secure a piece of his legacy, he'll also gain the backing of an entire group of voters who never thought they'd support him. And remember, he can't even run in 2028. He doesn't have to do this. But he's doing it anyway, because that's how you stay relevant. That's how you remain at the center of the national conversation. Meanwhile, Kamala is off giving speeches at conferences where she has no expertise, tossing out more of those word salads that leave people either confused or laughing. And let's not forget the border. That was supposed to be her big assignment, her chance to show leadership, competence, and authority. And she blew it. Instead of tackling the issue head-on, she froze. Instead of solving problems, she dodged them. For many Americans, that was her audition for the presidency, and she failed. Bill Maher said it straight. She's had 3 bad years. Not one bad day, not one bad speech, but 3 whole years of missed opportunities. That's career-ending territory.
Told you so. I've been telling Democrats for years the Republicans are going to steal pot from you as an issue, and now Trump says,
we're looking at reclassification and we'll make a determination.
What'd you expect? He is the master at winning votes from small groups who are passionate about one issue, picking up a couple percent here, a couple there, until on election night it's YMCA.
Now, is Kamala smart? Of course. Is she accomplished? Yes. But politics isn't about resumes. It's about perception. And the perception of Kamala Harris is clear. She's inauthentic, uninspiring, and unelectable. She wasn't chosen by the voters. She was handpicked by the DNC, and people haven't forgotten it. So when the question comes up, should Kamala run for governor in 2026? The answer is simple. No. She shouldn't even run for class treasurer. She should run far, far away from politics altogether.
In 3 years as vice president, she's been quieter than an electric car. Sometimes life isn't fair. It's not fair that she's not popular. She's intelligent and accomplished, and in fact was put in charge of the border. And look at how... Okay, bad example.
But here's the bigger issue. If not Kamala, then who? The other names floating around the DNC aren't any better. AOC, Bernie Sanders, Gavin Newsom, they all come with the same problem. They don't connect with average Americans. They represent elitist, out-of-touch politics that crumble when tested in the real world. That's the real danger for Democrats. They keep recycling the same tired faces and expecting new results. That's not strategy. That's insanity. If they keep this up, they're not just risking 2028. They're digging their own grave, sliding into political irrelevance even faster. At the end of the day, Bill Maher didn't reveal anything Americans didn't already know. Kamala Harris is not presidential material. Her failures as vice president only made that clearer. And the harsh truth for Democrats is that their bench isn't much deeper. If the DNC doesn't change direction, they're in for a brutal wake-up call.
This would be the first woman president, first black woman president, and first Asian president. But I don't vote for who will be the first. I vote for who will win. And for whatever reason, Harris has never been popular. You can count the number of delegates she won in the 2020 primaries on one hand, as long as that hand has no finger.
And now I want to hear from you. Do you agree with Bill Maher that Kamala should step aside and stay far away from politics? Or do you think she still has a chance? If so, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Because trust me, this conversation is only getting started.